Professor Pallas here. This is the wrap up of the information that you covered during week 7 in class. That is the week before you went on spring break. During week 7, our class survey took a closer look at the concept of resting metabolic rate, or RMR. The question was, or the statement, RMR is the caloric expenditure needed to support activities of the body's cells. RMR may be increased through regular, high-intensity physical activity, and it may be decreased related to repetitive dieting. When we took this survey as a class, 100% of you agreed that this statement is true, which is great news. That means that you're completing the readings for this class and that you're understanding the material. The resting metabolic rate is something that we want to protect. And if possible, it's something that we would like to increase. We do not want to decrease the resting metabolic rate. We know from evidence that there is a way to increase the resting metabolic rate, and that is through programming physical activity into your lifestyle. We also know that there's a way to decrease the resting metabolic rate, and that can be related to repetitive dieting, sometimes referred to as yo-yo dieting. We always review our due dates in the wrap-up videos. This week, we have quiz number 2. This will be due by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, March 24th. I strongly encourage you to print out and complete the quiz preparation worksheet and also watch the quiz preparation short video prior to taking the quiz. You only get one chance to take the quiz. It's timed at 30 minutes. You also should complete reading the textbook chapters 4 and 5 and watch all of the video lectures for the class up to and including the lectures this week. For upcoming projects, our group project will be due at the end of the semester. I'm going to publish a separate video that gives you more details and instructions for the group project. Before you left for spring break, the class submitted their eating observation assignments. Overall, and in general terms, the class did a very good job with this assignment. There were a lot of very interesting and insightful observations that were made. I took the opportunity to look at the data as a group collectively, very casually, to see if there were any trends we could identify that might be interesting. One of the things that I observed was consumption time. 15% of the people you observed spent 5 to 10 minutes consuming a meal. 15% of the people you as a class observed spent 11 to 15 minutes consuming their meals. 20% of the people you observed took 16 to 20 minutes consuming their meals. 9% of the people you observed took 21 to 24 minutes to consume their meal. And 41% of the people you observed took 25 or longer minutes to observe their meals. So that's interesting to think about. Sometimes there is, correct or incorrect, this concept that people who have weight problems may eat very quickly. In this class, completing this assignment, we saw that the largest group of people observed, 41%, spent more than 25 minutes consuming the meal. Again, casually, not formally rolling up your data from the eating observation assignment, I also looked at results for the percent of intake. 2% of the people you as a class observed ate 20% of their meal. 3% of the people you as a class observed ate 40% of their meals. 13% of the people you observed ate 60% of their meal. 20% of the people you observed ate 80% of their meal. And 62% of the people that you as a class observed ate 100% of their meal. This is some interesting data because the people that you observed were all dining in a restaurant type environment. So they were all eating restaurant food, which we know in general tends to have larger portion sizes, higher energy density or calorie content, and in many instances, higher sodium levels than food that people would prepare for themselves at home. So, while this is not a formal collection of data, it is interesting to observe that we as a class saw that 62% of the people we were casually observing did consume 100% of the food that was presented to them. When you compare this with restaurant portion sizes, calorie density, and sodium, this is interesting. This could be something that's contributing to people who may have issues with weight control. This week, we learned primarily about the energy balance equation. We also learned about nutrient oxidation and metabolism, the respiratory quotient, the role of the hypothalamus, and the role of hormones and neurotransmitters in weight management. All of these items fall on the energy out side of the energy balance equation. I will go into greater detail in the Quiz 2 review video on these topics. What's next? We have Quiz 2 due this Sunday, March 24th by 11:59 p.m. Please remember to invest some time and stay up to date with the weekly readings of the textbook chapters, as well as the articles that are published on D2L, and watch all of the videos, the lecture videos, and the other supporting videos that are included in the class. Please complete the weekly survey or poll. In addition to the Week 9 survey, there is also a pop-up survey on your satisfaction with the textbook. If you haven't taken that already, please complete that quiz. And we've got the group project coming up. That is not due until the end of the semester, but there will be a video published during week 9 that gives you more direction on how to complete that project and what you should start doing now to set yourself up for success. Thank you very much for your time.